Two specific situations routinely break English fluency: trying to explain exactly why a piece of hardware isn't working and dealing with a sudden audio drop on a remote call. In these moments, trying to construct a sentence from scratch in your head takes too long. By the time you mentally translate the grammar and search for the vocabulary, the conversation has moved on. You need the physical muscle memory in your mouth to produce the sounds automatically. This is why active, aloud speaking practice is required. Speaking aloud daily builds that physical reflex, keeping your brain from experiencing cognitive overload when you are suddenly put on the spot. Let's look at technical problem solving. For B1 and B2 learners, strings of multisyllabic words act like physical speed bumps, disrupting your speaking rhythm and causing hesitation. This diagram breaks down 3 common troubleshooting words. Practice shadowing them aloud right now. Intermittent, work around, calibrate. Training your jaw to hit these syllable counts smoothly prevents you from stumbling later. This flowchart maps a 3-step diagnostic pipeline. Step 1. Identify. I am seeing an intermittent error on the display. Step 2. Isolate. The issue is isolated to the primary module. Step 3. Propose. I propose we use a workaround until we can calibrate the system. This diagram shows a frozen monitor and a disconnected cable. Speak your diagnosis aloud right now using the 3 steps. You might say, I am seeing a frozen screen. The issue is isolated to a disconnected cable. I propose we plug the server back in. Breaking a problem into identify, isolate, and propose gives you a predictable path. You no longer have to build a complex technical explanation from zero. Navigating bad audio or interrupting a fast-talking speaker creates intense psychological friction. You might freeze, worried about sounding confrontational or missing critical context. Here are 3 phrases for call drops. To interrupt collidely, just to make sure we are on the same page. For audio glitches, I caught the first part, but I lost you at. To lock in next steps, so our immediate action item is to. Delivering these phrases requires a calm, flat intonation. If your pitch rises nervously at the end of the sentence, it signals uncertainty. Keeping your voice level maintains a collaborative tone. Memorizing these exact structures gives you a reliable script. You eliminate the awkward silence that stalls remote meetings, allowing you to bridge communication gaps immediately. Let's combine these. You are on a call with a client, and their audio cuts out as they explain an equipment failure. Speak the mitigation phrase aloud now. You should have said, I caught the first part, but I lost you at. Now the audio is back. Follow up with the summary phrase to confirm the thermal printer fix aloud. So our immediate action item is to calibrate the thermal printer. This split screen chart shows your entire toolkit. On the left, the identify, isolate, and propose steps for technical diagnostics. On the right, your 3 clarification phrases for navigating bad audio. Take these exact phrases and insert them into the personalization step of your daily 10-minute microlearning routine. Rewrite the templates to describe the specific hardware you troubleshoot and the exact software you use at work. Practicing these structures out loud every day builds the necessary physical articulation. When the connection drops or the machine breaks, your mouth already knows what to do, turning high-pressure scenarios into a predictable, automated response. When you listen to native English speakers, the pacing sounds incredibly fast. But the reality is physical. They aren't talking faster. They are connecting sounds to save physical energy. This is phonetic linking. If you try to read an English sentence word by word, your mouth works harder than it needs to. To speak fluidly, you have to transition from reading individual words to blending those sounds together. This diagram illustrates a primary exercise to train that efficiency, called shadowing. The first waveform represents a native speaker, and the second one right behind it is you. You practice by repeating what the speaker says aloud with a 0.2-second delay. At first, you will likely stumble, but notice how the second waveform catches up to the main rhythm. The goal isn't perfect initial accuracy. Even if you skip a word, keep going. Your target is matching the musical cadence. By mimicking this offset rhythm and following the speaker's physical shortcuts, you move past the trap of over-enunciation and begin building the muscle memory required for fluency. The first mechanical rule of blending is the reduction of prepositions and auxiliary verbs. In casual speech, these words shrink down to their shortest possible sounds. Observe how a formal sentence changes when spoken naturally. While textbook grammar remains the same, the phonetic reality becomes, "What are you going to do about the schedule?" You are condensing 3 words into a single breath. The second rule is consonant to vowel linking, which requires never stopping the airflow in your throat. You drag the final consonant into the starting vowel of the next word. Check in sounds like check in. Let's shadow this together. Keep the stream of air continuous. Check in on the backup unit. Check in on the backup unit. Check in on the backup unit. Mastering these 2 airflow rules removes the choppy, robotic cadence of beginner English, resulting in a continuous stream of speech. The third transition is the flap T. When a T falls between 2 vowels in American English, it changes the sound. Look at the highlighted letters. Pause the video and predict how these sound out loud. In natural speech, your tongue taps the roof of your mouth, creating a soft D sound. Putta becomes putta, and battery becomes battery. Let's lock in that tongue placement. Shadow this flap T sentence with me 3 times. Let me put a new battery. Let me put a new battery. Let me put a new battery. Forcing your brain to anticipate these transitions moves you from reactive reading to proactive prediction, which reduces the mental effort required during real-world conversations. Mechanics alone aren't enough if you can't access them under pressure. To bridge the gap between practice and conversation, we need high-energy retrieval drills. In the quick translate drill, if a call drops, you have 3 seconds to recall the phrase. 3, 2, 1. You broke up for a second. Next, the vocab drill. Use workaround in a sentence. 5 seconds, go. Application, we developed a temporary workaround. Finally, the 90-second personal summary. Use this cheat sheet to speak continuously about tomorrow's tasks without stopping to translate. During daily practice, if you hit a vocabulary gap, use the golden rule. Don't freeze. Just describe the concept using words you already know. By combining phonetic efficiency with daily pressure drills, you shift from conscious translation to spontaneous, natural English. Traditional, hour-long language lectures create significant cognitive load. This fatigue causes the brain to stop processing new information quickly, forgetting curve, which illustrates how rapidly the human brain discards new language concepts when they are studied in isolated, massive blocks. This chart shows the spacing effect in action. By engaging in 10-minute daily sessions, you interrupt the forgetting curve at regular intervals. These interruptions reset memory retention and gradually flatten the curve's downward trajectory. Daily, short-burst exposure creates the consistent reinforcement needed to strengthen the brain's language centers, providing a more reliable path to fluency than infrequent weekend study sessions. We are going to apply this research right now. We will complete your first 5-step fluency routine together, start to finish. Before we begin, you need 4 things: a smartphone timer, a physical notebook, a pen, and a private environment. You must speak out loud. Passively watching this video will not produce results. You need to physically articulate the sounds to see improvement. Vocalizing these sounds engages the neuromuscular pathways required to bridge the gap between understanding a vocabulary word and actually using it in conversation. Step 1 is active listening. For the next 2 minutes, do not worry about grammar. Focus entirely on the natural rhythm and cadence of the speaker. Listen, I drag myself out of bed. In natural speech, words blend together. Notice how out of compresses into outa. We see the same pattern in this second example. The phrase good to go is spoken as the compressed form good to go. Learning to decode this specific music of the language is what allows you to move past textbook comprehension and understand real-world conversations. Step 2 is shadowing. This is the process of mimicking vocal articulation to train the physical muscle memory of your jaw and tongue. Look at these target phrases. Follow the hyphenated phonetic guides below them. You want to produce these as a single, unbroken unit of sound. Drag myself out of bed. Pause the video now, set your timer for 1 minute, and repeat these phrases aloud 5 times, focusing on maintaining a continuous flow of sound. This physical repetition builds the neuromuscular coordination required to produce English sentences without hesitation. Step 3 is personalization. Shifting from simple mimicry to personal relevance is what allows for deep memory encoding. Use this template to describe your own morning. This ensures the vocabulary is attached to a real-life situation you encounter daily. For example, you might write, "I usually crawl out of bed and drink water," or "I usually jump out of bed and check my email." Pause the video for 2 minutes. Write your unique sentence in your notebook and speak it aloud 3 times. Framing vocabulary within your own lived experience creates stronger neural associations. This contributes to the 67% habit retention rate observed in microlearning models compared to long-form study. Step 4 is free speaking. We are removing the scripts now to practice spontaneous, real-time narration. If you forget a word, do not stop to translate. Simply say, or "let me see," and keep the momentum of your speech going. Pause the video, look around your current environment, and narrate exactly what you see and plan to do next. Speak for the full 2 minutes. Forcing the brain to bypass the native language translation step develops the mental agility needed for real-time conversational speed. Step 5 is reflection. This is where you document the specific speed bumps you encountered during your free speaking practice. Note down which words were physically difficult to pronounce and which concepts you wanted to express but lacked the vocabulary for. Record these sticking points in your notebook alongside your personalized sentence from Step 3. This log transforms today's mistakes into a targeted curriculum for tomorrow, ensuring you don't repeat the same errors. You have just completed a full, scientifically structured microlearning cycle. You now have a customized sentence in your muscle memory and a clear list of vocabulary gaps to address in your next session. To maintain high retention, this routine must be repeated daily. Short, consistent intervals are the most effective way to build long-term fluency. Repeating this 10-minute micro-habit daily leverages the spacing effect to maintain high retention over time, directly countering the steep decline of the forgetting.